Di hola. Vamos a ir. We're gonna go see the dinosaurs? Yeah? ¿Dónde tu dinosaur? Where's your dinosaur? Enséñame tu dinosaur. A ver, enséñamelo. Everything you do.
Was he doing that?
Mm-hmm. A ver, Joel, show me your dinosaur.
Oh, Bubbles. See, look at him in the Jeep. They got all
Look,
the
you can see a dinosaur. Well, the butt of the dinosaur. This line's humongous.
Look, Bubbles. Bubbles, come here. You wanna come?
Look.
Hi. Look, Bubbles, babe, let him see.
He's good. Oh, he's being scared.
Look, Bubbles.
Look, Papa. Oh,
Mama,
wow, look at the dinosaur.
It's alright, he's nice, I promise.
Look at the dino.
Hi. Thank you.
No.
Looking at is the Triassic period. The Triassic started about 251 million years ago at the end of another period that we call the Permian.
Say hi.
One of the earliest dinosaurs that we know of was Eoraptor. Its name means dog thief because it lived at the dawn of the age of dinosaurs. Eoraptor lives from what is now Argentina about 231 million years ago. Beside that is a kind of skinny dinosaur named a Coelophysis. Its name means hollow-form because they had hollow sacs of air in their joints instead of cartilage. Coelophysis is the oldest known dinosaur.
Prior to dinosaurs, dinosaurs for the most part lived on land and had legs that went straight underneath their hips and not straight out to the sides like lizards or crocodiles.
Triceratops.
Years ago. Now a lot of people have ideas of Dilophosaurus spitting poison or acid, and a lot of the pictures, which is just a fancy way of saying they just plain made it up. We don't know for sure that some dinosaurs didn't spit poison, but we don't have any reason to think that Dilophosaurus did. There's also no evidence that they had that colored rump. It's rarely seen in other creatures when frightened, like a frilled neck lizard or a wild William Shakespeare. But not in Dilophosaurus, as far as we know.
Who can name the dinosaur here covered in plates? If you said Stegosaurus, you're right. Stegosaurus is a Jurassic plant eater whose back, neck, and tail were covered in bony plates. Stegosaurus had a special weapon. Along its tail, it had a set of spikes called a thagomizer that it would use to defend itself from predators. And the predator it had to worry about the most was Allosaurus. T-Rex isn't the only scary meat-eating dinosaur we have here at Jurassic West. Allosaurus was one of the larger predators around in the late Jurassic. Allosaurus had long arms for a theropod with big, hooked claws.
To be discovered and named. Some of you might have already guessed that iguanodon means iguana tooth. When iguanodon was discovered in England, no one had ever even heard of dinosaurs yet. So when it came time to name this bizarre new animal, the only similarities anyone could think of were that its teeth kind of looked like the... Since it lived in what is now England, as one of its last meals was fish, this could be the earliest evidence of anyone in the UK ordering fish and chips.
Our quest has now taken us from Europe to the continent of Asia, still in the early Cretaceous.
Careful, Fuzz. Where's on? Sharp claws, dude. Don't eat the claws. Okay, Papa. Good, Papa. You didn't write it down.
Realized it was sitting on a nest of its own eggs. But the name stuck and is still debated if Oviraptor actually ate eggs. Here at Jurassic Quest, ours take theirs sunny side up every morning for breakfast.
Yet another dinosaur from Mongolia is the large Therizinosaurus you see here, with the long claws. The claws on its hands could grow up to 3 feet long, making them the longest claws in the animal kingdom. Most of what we know about Therizinosaurus comes from animals closely related to it. The only fossil communicate effectively through the herd. Speaking of communication, I've been directed to ask you all to keep an eye out for any free-roaming dinosaurs that may or may not be wandering around the park.
Hi, Park Ranger Marty here. Hope you're not mad at me about accidentally releasing the T-Rexes. Anyway, in this scene you see Xianchusaurus. Xianchusaurus is a tyrannosaur from China and is closely related to Alioramus from Mongolia. Both have awfully long, narrow noses for members of the Tyrannosaur family. We're not sure what those noses may have been used for. Maybe to cut through water, making them faster, more accurate fishermen, or maybe they were specializing in smaller, faster prey, not needing the powerful bite of a T-Rex.
Look at Papa.
Speaking of which, if you see one of them, please let one of our 4 security officers know. Now, scientists only described this dinosaur in 2014, so there are still a lot of unanswered questions about
Well,
it.
these are the mean
I
ones.
can't tell you this much. In the United States, we do not typically refer to this dinosaur as Xianchusaurus. We typically just call it Pinocchio Rex.
Now we travel to Argentina. The big animal you see in this scene is Giganotosaurus.
Is that this one?
Arguably one of the largest meat-eating dinosaurs. Though it may look a lot like T-Rex, it's actually a much different animal. Unlike a T-Rex, it has 3 claws on each hand, a lighter bone structure, and teeth that were designed for slicing. Unlike a T-Rex's, which were meant for crushing through bones and ripping car tops open.
Family of dinosaurs, sometimes called duck-billed dinosaurs, because of the shape of their snouts. Other hadrosaurs include Iguanodon, Ouranosaurus, Aloratitan, and Edmontosaurus, among many others. Parasaurolophus is a cool dinosaur because it's one of the few dinosaurs where we know what they might have sounded like. Paleontologists discovered that by looking at the crest on its head. What they found were tubes inside going back and forth between the nasal passage and the throat. When they recreated blowing air through their tubes, they discovered that the crest would have made a horn sound. The new script here just says make horn sounds. No, guys, I'm not gonna do that.
Sarah.
By the way, hadrosaurs are prey animals. Their sound might have attracted large predators. If our missing T-Rexes hear that sound coming from one of your cars, they might be following the tour back in the direction of their cage. So perhaps we should move on to the next stop. Yeah?
Quetzalcoatlus is the largest flying animal to ever take to the sky. It lived in what's now Texas because everything is bigger in Texas. It's named after the Quetzalcoatl, the Aztec feather serpent deity. It had a wingspan of 36 feet. That's the same as a small plane. Standing like it is here, it was the height of a giraffe, but would weigh less than 600 pounds. That's a lot, but it's incredibly light for an animal this size because it was doing everything possible to be as light as possible, including having very hollow bones. This is necessary for it to achieve flight. Quetzalcoatl
They tend to have smaller frills, but sometimes they have some rather ornate horns coming out of those frills. Now, if you'd like to learn more about ceratopsians or any dinosaur, you can text your questions to me at 844-DINO-411. That's 844
Look at the baby.
6411, and I'll be happy to help.
This armored dinosaur is Ankylosaurus. also known as fused lizard. Allosaurus tail club. This suggests that Ankylosaurus could fight off a T-Rex and possibly even win. The animal here is a Pachycephalosaurus, meaning it's like something from a Harry Potter book. That's because it's from a Harry Potter book. The name actually means Dragon King of Hogwarts because its skull looked a lot. I've got great news, everyone. Our brand new medicine green Lisa has managed to locate T-Rex in That's great news because T-Rex is one of the most common favorite dinosaurs. So that means we can actually talk about it.
And finally, here at my favorite dinosaur, the Triceratops. The cool thing about Triceratops... No! The last T-Rex is in with the Triceratops' pen, and he's eating the Triceratops. Oh no, folks, this is terrible. That's my favorite Triceratops. Lisa, we've located the missing
Look,
T-Rex.
Papas.
Lisa, do you copy? Oh no, this is...
Say bye, Joel. Show me your dinosaur. Tell us bye.